Questions that I get asked a lot is which one is the best model to start selling on Amazon? Is it retail? Is it private label? Is it wholesale? And for me, every single model is good, right? As long as you start, what you need to do is start selling products on Amazon, because selling products on Amazon is what is gonna get your account going, and you can start with the compounding effect month after month, growing the number of products that you've got in your catalog, and obviously growing your profits until you're gonna get to a point where you are gonna make enough money to retire from your job and be a full-time Amazon seller. How do you start? I believe that starting from retailers is the easiest option, and I'm gonna give you my views on all three models, okay? First of all, it's got to be FBA, because that's hands-on. You're gonna make sales whilst you are sleeping. Amazon manages all your inventory, customer services, shipments, answers to your buyers' questions. Is a very solid model. So whether it's retail or wholesale products or private label, they're all good, but there is something that you need to know about each one of these models. So why do I say retail to start? Because everybody can go and purchase products from Walmart, Bed Bath & Beyond, Home Depot in the US, or Argos, Smith's Toys, Boots, Look Fantastics in the UK, and send them to a prep center. So if you need a prep center, just give me a shout. We can help you with that to start your Amazon business. It's easy to order from retailers with certain softwares such as Tactical Arbitrage, or you can use OEX-Ray, or you can use Source Mogul, which will give you for each store what kind of profits you can make per product, what kind of estimated sales you can make, and what products are good to sell on Amazon, basically. So basically these softwares, they scan these suppliers, and it will give you an advice on which products you can buy to sell on Amazon at a profit. You will then order these products from the retailers, and the reason why I said to start with retailers, it's because you can also maximize your profits with the retailers, especially at the beginning, by using cashback sites, okay? So every time that you put something in the cart, you will log in into your cashback site. For example, topcashback.co.uk is one that we use a lot, but there are a ton of them in there. Simply search that cashback sites on Google, and you will see Quidco, you will see loads of them. And then it will put a cookie on your URL, which will then allow you to take cashback, a percentage of cashback on every purchase that you make online through retailers. Also, using coupons is another way to maximize your profits at the beginning, because putting a coupon on your order will also knock off sometimes 15-20%, which is all gonna be your profit at the end. But why do I say it's the easiest way to start retailers? Because usually the ascension of an Amazon seller is this, right? First of all, private label, in my experience, is the hardest one to do, because you need to know a lot of things and moving parts to make sure that you are buying a product that will sell. But we get to private label at the end of this video. Starting from retailers, why do I say it's the easiest way, but it's not the way that you can always continue? It's something that you can keep doing, but the problem with retailers is that you've got replenishable products, but it's not scalable. Because when I started with retailers, and one thing that was stopping my growth was the fact that if I used to sell a product from Argos, let's say, or from Boots, let's say a makeup product or something like that from Boots, if I used to sell that product 10 times in a day, you cannot go back to Boots and buy 300 for the full month. And that's where it was kind of stopping my growth. Also because some of these retailers, if you keep ordering more on and on the same products multiple times, sometimes they flag your account and they close it. So you go to open a new account, they might flag you because you got the same card. So there was all these kind of issues. And this is when we kind of ascended into the wholesale business. Okay, so every product that we were selling, that we purchased from a retailer, at that point, we then started contacting the manufacturers. And the manufacturers, they used to allow us to buy direct from them, or advise which ones were their authorized distributors for those products. And this is when we start buying in bulk, and I'm smiling here because at that point I was still working from home. I didn't have a warehouse like now, and my wife nearly kicked me out of the house because one of the best categories I used to sell on was the home and kitchen category, and I used to buy big pallets of pans and pots, which they come in kind of a big box, and there was like there were massive lorries parking in front of my house, which was a residential place. It wasn't an industrial state, so very limited space. I had my neighbors complaining because they're coming back from work and they couldn't park their cars. But I was putting lots of pallets inside my front room, bedroom, bathroom, kitchen. I had a little girl and a little boy back then that didn't have space to play. So this is when we got a warehouse. So this is the kind of ascension that we did from retailers to wholesalers to get a warehouse. And then I start offering prep for my students, my clients, and we opened a prep center. We became open to everyone. But whilst I was doing also the wholesale, now every single product that we were selling well at retail price, we are then now maximizing the profits by getting the products from the wholesalers. And now we've got replenishable and scalable products. And that takes me to the private label part of it, because now you're making more profits. You've got stock that will last enough for a month if you reinvest all your profits, especially at the beginning. I kept my job for 6 months before I retired because I used all the profit to maximize that revenue to get more profits that allowed me then to have enough profit that was more than the wage that I was taking at my previous job. And why private label is more complicated? So it can be very lucrative, private label, if you know what you're doing. So product research can take a while on private label because you must be looking at products that are not saturated. And what I mean by that is that there should be the right balance between demand and competition. If it's a product, if you choose products such as trainers, for example, you start doing a brand of trainers, unless you have contacts with massive influencers that can launch your brand to the world, it will be difficult to rank on Amazon, because if I launch a pair of trainers, people will always buy some Nikes or Adidas or Under Armour compared to my shoes that nobody knows, okay? But also with private label, there are different ways to do it. You can also test products coming from China before you brand them to see if they sell. But if you are good at product research and you see that there is enough demand of the products, but not too much competition, by that what I mean is that people that are making 5,000-10,000 in revenue on a product and they've got less than 500 reviews, so you know that there is the demand of it, but there is not too much competition, that's a good product to get into as a private label. And the other thing is that with private label you must have a good capital to start with, especially if you are going to trademark it, brand it, and launch it for pay-per-click. So you need to know how to use software such as Helium 10, for example, which helps you to create great keywords, and you need to see also how to search for the right keywords. So you need to do kind of a reverse kind of spying your competitor. So you look for that product, which ones in that category. For example, if you're going to sell a potato peeler, you're going to look at which ones are the ASINs in the first page of Amazon to see what kind of keywords they are using to be ranking on that on page one. So then you can extrapolate those products from Helium 10, extrapolate the keywords that they're using, that these products are using to be on page one, and start creating your own keywords for your title, your bullet points, your descriptions. You need to make some really good professional pictures, and you need to ensure that you're using all the pictures that Amazon allows you to upload to make your listing stand out, okay? Once you've done all that, obviously you need to have a bit more capital, because especially when you want to brand products, the suppliers, usually Chinese suppliers, they've got the lowest costs of manufacturing. They will ask you for a minimum order quantity of at least 500 or 1,000 if you want your brand to be there. However, private label done properly, if you know also how to launch the product on the launch phase, good pay-per-clicks, doing the advertising, creating a page for your brand, both on Facebook, YouTube, keep doing a lot of advertising, your brand can grow and be very lucrative, okay? But again, you need to know what you're doing. But finally, between these three, just to close this video, they all work. You know, there isn't one better than the other, because we still do retail, we do wholesale, and we do private label, even 10 years after we started. Only that, you know, I've explained to you what are the pros and cons of each ones. The best one, finally, for me, it would be to get to a point where we've got only private labels. You are the owner of that brand, because that is probably the most lucrative business model when you, in 5-10 years time, decide to exit. Because if you got an exit plan where you want to sell your brand, you know, it's a lot easier to contact investors to sell a business that you completely own, including your products and your brand. And depending on the revenue that you're making per year, I believe that if you're making over $1 million in revenue with your brand only, you could be easily getting up to 5 million if you sell your brand. So finally, I believe private label could be the most lucrative, although the kind of the riskier one as well, if you don't know exactly what you are doing, okay? That could take you to a loss of money, especially at the beginning when you invest in thousands of pounds, £3,000-5,000. And also with private label, the other problem is at the beginning, once you've got loads of products rolling, that's not a problem. But at the beginning, you will not get your investment back for months. Whereas with retailers, you can buy a product today, you get it delivered by tomorrow, it will be at Amazon within 3 days. With private label, and with a very small amount to invest, with private label instead, you've got to put like £3,000 or $3,000 down at first. It takes over a month usually to manufacture the products, another 60 days to come via boat, although you can ship some of the shipment with air freight, but it's very expensive. And then you start getting the products in there. In the meantime, you need to create your listing and do all the things that I've explained before. But yeah, private label has got a lot of moving parts to get it going, whereas retail and wholesale, they can be very fast on, on growing. And if you need a wholesaler, we are also a wholesaler, which help Amazon sellers like you that might not have a big amount of money to invest, to reduce the minimum order quantity which we reach for our clients, and you can have a very low barrier of entry in the wholesale world, especially if you are struggling to find wholesalers. We got over 600,000 products currently in our catalog, ready to sell to you to grow your business. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to click like and give me a follow. Okay, see you soon. Bye.